Home at Last, A Song of Migration by April Pulley Sayer, illustrations by Alex Berenzi. You notice what's on the front, boys and girls? Caribou. We know about caribou, right? We know about reindeer and caribou. This is kind of a neat insert page there. Our title page, Home at Last. There's a dedication over here for the three Elizabeths. And then we start. In the dark of night, a warbler finds her way by stars. A warbler is a bird. There she is. Her wings flap 1,000 miles. Will she reach her summer home? No one knows. But like the others, she's heading for home at last. Out at sea, grown-up salmon remember a smell. It's the smell of the stream where they were born. They'll swim 2,000 miles. Wow. Hop up waterfalls just to be, what do you think? Home at last. Look, they're back home in their stream. Flippers push, gently paddle. A sea turtle swims. No one knows how she finds her way, but she swims across the ocean to a beach where she was born. She lays her eggs there. There she is, laying her eggs on the beach. Home at last. There she is. Tiny wings carry a monarch hundreds of miles, one flutter at a time. She flies to a mountain she's never seen, yet somehow she knows she's, what, can you guess the pattern? Home at last. There's a pattern of words in this book, isn't there? On his first journey, a young gray whale swims with his mother. From warm tropical waters to cold Arctic seas. Once there, he and his family will feast on plankton aplenty. Fat and full, they'll be, what? Home at last. There they are in the water, so pretty. And there it says, home at last. Oh boy. A caribou herd, like a river of antlers, walks and eats and walks. They head from the forest to their summer home, the coastal plain. When they reach it, they'll be, what? I think you can tell me. What's the pattern of words? Home at last. And there's the caribou, home at last. In the fall, lobsters walk single file from deep water to their winter home, the reef. March, march, march. Tentacle to tail, they march. Until they're, what, you know, home at last. In the reef, home at last. An Arctic tern, so that's like this bird, right? Hovers, then dives for fish. He has two homes, one at each end of the earth. He'll need lots of food to fuel his 12,000-mile trip. But it's worth it to be, you say it, you know, home at last. There he is, home at last. And there's the words, home at last. In spring, a wood frog hops over rocks, through fields, across roads, by a house. He smells the moist air, the leaves, the pond, and then he knows he's, what is it? You know, home at last. There's his home. Home at last. In that same pond, the frog joins a chorus. They fill the forest with sound. Just then, A tired bird lands on a branch high above. Do you remember this bird? Do you remember him? The warbler. Remember the warbler from the beginning? Has reached her home at last. There's the words. And there's our bird. All the way from the beginning of the book when she first started flying. And she's home at last. And then that's the end. There's a story about all the animals here. I might put that in the Google Classroom for you, okay?